All right. So we got the recording going on, and we're going to start doing some Wheel of Cheese here. And I know everybody's getting in on some of that speen here. So what I'm going to do is I got to refresh all my data. The first one I'm going to do is you guys may notice I do this thing where I go back and forth. Thank you for my moderators, especially AA, with this form where my first spin will be with people who may have never won before or anything like that. They're brand new. Second spin, the whole crew gets in there and I go back and forth. And so that's how we're going to do it. So let me do this. Let me grab the new viewer list first. And I got to find a better way to do this. Okay. Do you guys see wheel? I see wheel. Do you see wheel? I see wheel. I sure will. Okay, so hang on for a second. Uh-oh. Stand by. My wheel of cheese is frozen. Oh, there it is. Okay, stand by. I want to make sure I got the right list here. These are the newer people now. If you have not seen if you don't see your name here, it's probably because you've won a couple times or you've donoed or something. So this is the people that are hanging in the back here. So let's all party for the peoples. Let's all vote for the color that you want. Let's go. Slick Rickin'. All right, we got Slick Rickin', our first winner here for the Wheel of Cheese. So let's mahalo Slick Rickin' and let's see what Slick Rickin' wanted. He wants a band. Oh, of course, I know this band. This is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards. Something like that. You guys know, have you heard of that band? Have you heard of the Muffin Man? So this one is called Sleep Drifter. So once again, Slick Rickin', you win. And now we get to delight in your choice. Let's do this. Let me get my ducks in a row here. I'm gonna go like that. And here we go. All right. Oh, it's live. All right, let's do this. I love the live thing. It's a classic spring reverb sound. Cool to listen to the overhead mic and the direct mic on the hat. A lot of guitar dynamics in there. That's great. Kind of a trippy microtonal approach if it was deliberate. Psychedelic groove. This has got Doors written all over it. Okay, so they do have a microtonal track, or I guess somebody just posted up there. What's it called? Banana? Microtonal banana. That's kind of part of their thing. Who else does that? That's really big on that. Radio. Oh, God, forgive me if I can't remember the name, but another band from Europe that's tremendously huge. They also play around with the microtonal vibes a lot and stuff. But this one definitely has its roots in kind of a, you know, that 60s psychedelic vibe, really authentic, you know. But something I wanted to mention though is really unique, and way out at the very beginning I was kind of like hearing it was a trip, is that the hi-hat, you can hear two instances of the hi-hat, one that has like a direct miking on the hi-hat, and then some of the hi-hat that picks up over the overheads that have a different directional on it. So that's kind of a trippy too. That's just a weird geeky thing that I'm listening to. I'm not too sure I understand what the fretting is on this guitar right there. Does have that Pink Floyd psychedelic jam bandish kind of vibe. Sometimes it's just about a locked in groove. Very hypnotic. What a trip, man. And it was a great way to open up the session here. Now, maybe some of you guys, and I've said this before, I'm not an ethnomusicologist. Excuse me. Definitely don't know anywhere near close to everything or anything about music, but I wasn't too sure that I understood the fretting on those guitars. Is that what makes it microtonal? I don't know. I've may have noticed that before, but more so on this because there were 3 guitar players in this to keep all those dynamics down in the arrangement, but they had that unique fretting on the fretboard, and I don't know if that's where some of that tonal, delivery gets delivered. Was that right? Oh, they get their... Oh, I see. Oh, thanks, Slick. It's great. The thing about that track too is it does get you kind of in a groove, and there's not a real gitchy, riffy kind of a thing to it, You know, that kind of groove thing. There's a song on, I don't know if it's Mungata Regatta or Regatta and Cheese or something. I don't know, one of the Police songs that has just this hypnotic jam to it. Like, it's so simple but so powerful and so cool. And then I found out when Rick Beato interviewed Stuart Copeland that track was like, ugh, they just started playing and just said, okay, well, this will kill 4 minutes or something like that. And to me, it's one of the most jammingest tracks on that particular album from the Police. Maybe I'll play it out a little bit. But anyhow, okay, so now we're going to go to more Wheel of Cheese, and now I'm going to refresh the data, and I'm going to go grab it from the Everyone list. And so I'm going to do that, and let's get back into our Speen. And so here we go. Speen. Let me refresh the list. Slick Rick, and thank you very much for coming and hanging out and playing the Wheel of Cheese with us. My system's moving a little kind of geeky right now. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, here we go. Oh, see, now that's the big fat list. This is the cross the country wagon Wheel of Cheese right here. So this is with everybody in on it. So let's go. Vote for your favorite color. All right. What is this? Who's got it? Mathematical. Okay, mathematical. Let's do this. Guys, my system is running kind of weird. Something's kind of up on it. But anyhow, let's check out what mathematical is. I'll check on that snake. But let me get this going here. Wants a band called Silversun Pickups. It's alternative. And so let's check that out. Oops. There it is right there. And the name of the track is called Panic Switch. Have you guys ever heard of this band here? I've never heard of this band, but I'm definitely looking very forward to it. So let's go. This is for Mathematical on the Cheese Wheel. The winner. Let's go. Ooh. Gritty tones. Like how that bass is locking it in. That drum pattern is holding down that classical pattern. I love the fact the guitar is just pulled out and it's just the vocals and the bass drums right now. Little slight ambience in the back. I love that. Got kind of that shoegaze tone, doesn't it, on the guitar? Nice hook. It gave you time to really rinse in it. Super cool thing that's happening here is that drummer's really soaked and rinsing in on that pattern. That pattern was actually a very well used pattern in 60s, early 70s, kind of progressive, rockish kind of vibe. Kind of drifted in and out of progress into pop back and forth. The over-grinding tones of the guitar and the way they're being played and where they're sitting in the mix, like I said earlier, it does kind of remind me of kind of a shoegaze vibe. Just because of the grittiness of it. I don't have a deep enough knowledge on guitar tones and genres to really be able to say that is what it is. It just kind of reminds me of it. Now, the vocalist, I'm going to lean in and say this is a female singer. I love the unique effects they have on her voice to give it a little bit of a stereo imaging. But here in the verses, when the guitar all fades away and you just have the drum and the bass and the vocals, it's a guy. Oh, you see? Well, that's why. Thank you very much. That's why I was like, is it a guy? Is it not a guy? Could it be? I'm not sure. No offense. I hope the fan base doesn't take offense of that. But I love the fact that in the verses so far they've pulled all the guitars out, and then they just let a little bit of ambient kind of guitar chords swell up and down, with the chord changes. But so far my favorite part of the track is the fact that they really give you like 16 bars to soak into the hook, and the hook is very melodic. Yeah, Umber, that's what I was feeling. I like how the bass straightens out, but really keeps the power in on it. I like how the harmony on the vocals kind of seems like it's sitting on the tonic, but except for there, I'm wrong. Yeah, great tone on that bass. They're really leaning hard on the delays for the ambiance on the metal tracks. That's a nice chord change there, right there. Really super trippy, but I love, I tell you what's a real super beast. The super beast in this is actually managing that over-fried, over-the-top guitar tones, and not letting that, like, rent a lot of tonal space in your master mix out and stuff like that, while still the bass and the drums and the vocals and everything are still, you know, in its organic tonal pocket outside of some compression and EQ. But what I'm talking about is that over-the-top sizzling of the guitars can be a distraction. And at least for me, I wouldn't try to do anything like that at my age with my ears, but how I would probably be a little nervous or anxious mixing a track like this because of that edginess of the guitars and stuff always when that comes in there, and it just fries the shit out of it, which sounds great in context of the song and the melody and all that. Yeah, it sounds epic. As an engineer, I'd be going, wow, I'd be having a minute with that, especially with how the verses are so clean, and you get a great chance to hear this guy's voice, and it really is just, but the bass player too, very clean sound, you know, that whole thing, and then all of a sudden they just fry it up with the guitar tone, especially in the chorus or in the hook, you know, where I was trying to discern the tonal difference, like, okay, wait a minute, my ears are being pulled to this fryness, the sizzly of the guitars. But I was like battling this internal battle to also feel just as gelled about the melody and everything of the hook. So maybe that's what this song is all about. The name of the song, I guess, is, what is it? Panic Switch. So kind of suits itself pretty well. It's like hitting a switch, you're kind of chill. Then you come into the hook, hit the switch, got a kind of a panicky kind of vibe. That's what it did to me, for gosh sakes. So, sorry, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden in my chest, I'm having a cough like a hackendack. All right, let's go back to another Wheel of Cheese for more of the newer viewers. Wow, it really looks like the donos are popping, so you guys hang in there and stuff. You know, we all know the story here. I get to as many as I can. And if I don't, obviously I open up the next stream with the donos when that happens. It didn't happen on this stream. I think it was because I was caught off guard, but that's how it's going to go. Okay, so now let's get some more new viewers on the Wheel of Cheese. And here we go. Oh, God, something's going on with this browser. Oh, I see what's happening. The Wheel of Cheese thing is forcing advertisements on me now. You can't see it, but that's why it's causing these little hiccups. All right, here we go again. This is the minimal Wheel of Cheese. This is the new Wheel of Cheese. So here we go, guys. Vote for your color. All right. Who do we got? Who do we got? Ooh. Xero KK. I think you're first time winner here. Xero KK. Let's all say aloha to Hero KK too. I don't know. I'm sorry. That could be. Nope, never did any peanut butter for a masculine. No. All right, let's see what we get here for our winner here. Oh, it's a game. Oh, you guys might know this game. I did a video. I did some music from this game. Alan Wake. Ugh, sorry, my bad. So we got a song coming up from Alan Wake here, from our Wheel of Cheese winner. The name of the track is The Pot and the Muse. Not the poet. The Poet and the Muse. So if you guys are down for the Alan Wake, then this is Alan. Okay, DJ, do you remember that? Is that what you're making fun of? Was that Chipmunk back in the day? We always used to go, Alan. You see, I remember. I'm old enough to remember. I mean, I've been around, you know, on the internet long enough to know. Alan. Steve. That was a classic. All right, here we go. Already love this. I need some acoustic vibes right now.
There's an old tale wrought with mystery of Tom the poet and his muse, and a magic lake which gave a life to the words the poet used. Now the muse, she was his happiness, and he rhymed about her grace, and told the stories of treasures deep beneath.
God, the recording is so clean with the guitars and everything.
Till in the stillness of wonder, still in its misty crown, the Muse she went down to the lake, and in the waves she drowned.
Wow, you could really feel this guy's performance vocally.
And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light.
I love that flute arrangement. Oh, beautiful.
That's how you reshape destiny.
Beautiful with the flutes, man.
Poet came down to the lake to call out to his dear. When there was no answer, he was overcome with fear.
Hate to break the vibe, just quick question. Is this a song that's in the video game that plays in between scenes, or is this a menu or something like that? I'd love to know.
He searched in vain for his treasure lost, and too soon the night would fall, and only his own echo would wail back at his call.
Oh, Ammon. Okay.
And when he swore to bring back his love by stories he'd create, nightmares shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake. And now
Ooh, the strings back there. I love that.
you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light still raving in the night. That's how you reshape destiny.
Thank you, Zero.
In the dead of night she came to him with darkness in her eyes. We're in a morning gown, sweet words as her disguise. He took her in without a word, for he saw his grave mistake, and vowed them both to silence deep beneath the lake. Now if it's real or just a dream, one mystery remains, for it is said on moonless nights they may still haunt this place.
Yeah, this has got that Stairway to Heaven vibe, right? Give us a chunk at the end, you know, take it all the way home. Beautiful guitar tone, jeez. That guitar tone was stunning.
You will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light, gone mad with the night.
I still love how they're keeping the integrity of the flute relationship arrangement there.
And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light still raving in the night. That's how you reshape destiny.
What a beautiful track. What a beautiful, beautiful track. Everything from the recording all the way to the vocalist performance, very authentic, very passionate. One thing that I noticed was really super cool about this is da 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 da. But it's very close to that. That is the melody of the verses actually had more impact on me than the hook. I think it was because they really just kind of drove that home. You know, da 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 da. You know, that kind of vibe just kept on coming in at it, you know. A lot of times you'll find that they really save some of the, you know, the melodic aspect of it that might be hookish for that branded moment in a song that's called the hook. But the hook became more of just, it still was hooky, but it was bolder and supported by arrangements. That's when you had the strings come in and, you know, even before the drums came in, the strings came in with the flutes and kind of lifted that up into the next verse and stuff. And then, of course, you know, the big deliverance was, you know, the drums coming in with the guitar lead and stuff where it came in, and that guitar lead sound was phenomenal. Absolutely beautiful. But the other thing that I really enjoyed about it is that the lifting of the arrangements, a little stronger, a little more powerful as it went, except for at the very end. But the tonal quality and the performance of the singer stayed kind of in its zone. So, which is very difficult to do because I'm not much of a singer, but sometimes I try to sing and stay in a pocket that even though the music gets loud around me, I feel like I want to get louder or more aggressive, but trying to keep that more intimate kind of vibe is a difficult thing to do. So this was, I guess, Old Gods of Asgard. I guess is the name of the band, right? I know I've done this before, but I think they're the name of the band that does the music or has been doing music for this video game, something like that. Great sound, loved it. And I was definitely over the moon with the flutes, the arrangements they had going on over there. So that's super cool beans. Poets of the Fall. Okay. Excuse me. All right, now we got to do the big gang cheese, the giant wheel of cheese for everybody. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's see what we got here for the next wheel of cheese. Thank you again, Xero, KK. I really appreciate it. That was very cool of you to drop in and take your chance on the wheel of cheese. Now this wheel of cheese, watch what happens. It's going to get sliced. Woo! Look at all that. That's a lot of wheel of cheese. That's a lot of people hanging out there, going like this. Oh, please, 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 please. So let's do this, guys. New wheel of cheese spin. And let's just hope that my CPU or GPU doesn't keep coughing. So let's do this. Brick 'em, breck 'em, brick 'em, breck 'em. Get that ball and really fight. Ah, that's a clean spin. Clean spin. Who do we got here? Oh, Enlave 1. I think Enlave 1 is also new. Enlave 1, are you here? We're doing your song. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there you are. There you go, Enlave. We got your song here. Welcome into the chat. Welcome into the Wheel of Cheese and the Spin. I got to find your name here. Stand by. Oh, where are you? How do you spell it? Oh, it's an E. Doe. I went to the I's. Lots of peoples. There you are. Okay, this is anime. Never heard of this one. People in the chat, can you tell me of an anime called Oshi no Ko? So let's see what we got here for Oshi no Ko. And let's do this. And the name of the track is Mephisto. So here we go. Oh, almost. Here we go. Okay. Here we go now. Ooh. Trippy.
ラストチャンスに植えたつま先が踊り出すままかけたこの夜空波のスタンスじゃ伸びかない星は宝石の憧れ浮かぶ涙と汗は血の名残目の中でしか泳げなきゃ芝居だけどステージが逃がさない
I like what the bass is doing. I like how that goes back in the languages, back and forth. A little triplet there. Da, 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 da. Ooh.
戻れないから大切にするの始めないなら高をくれるよ楽になる日はまず来ない日々の中に集まる悲しい生まれつきだってばそうこなし誰を生きたか忘れちゃった
Yeah, this is really super straightforward, very pop contemporary vibey. That's one hell of a head voice that guy's got. A little bit of trap. They keep on dropping in like the trap hi-hats and stuff now and then. I like the dynamics of the engineering on that. From the hardcore stereo imaging on the vocals now into this little monopod. Even with that guitar. Something I was watching with the lyrics when they do lyrics and like I guess predominantly the song is written in Japanese by a Japanese composer lyricist, and it's what's really unique is the syllable and the melodic switch up in how you might say a phrase Japanese, which let's say that whatever this phrase is right here, whatever that means in its syllables, how it would rhythmically work into the melody. You try to translate that directly into English, and then the rhythm pattern of the melody during that phrase is going to be completely different because the syllables are different in there. The guy's head voice was pretty insane. This probably wasn't one of the more memorable anime's tracks for me. I think I was kind of honing in on the fact that this is probably one of the more simpler, chilled out tracks. It's not a bad thing. It's just a very laid back one. So the only thing I was able to really focus on, because a lot of times I go, okay, what sticks with me? What's sticking with me is that do-do-do-do-do, and that super high head voice he went into. I can hear the melody in my head repeating there. But the actual musical production of it just seemed kind of just mellow, chill, pop culture, straightforward and stuff. And I obviously don't know anything about the anime and what that represents in its genre and stuff like that, if it's more pop culture opposed to animes that might be, I've realized that animes like video games can be time period pieces as well. So thanks for the Wheel of Cheese. Thanks for coming out and speening. Let's do some more Wheel of Cheese. Come on. I still got time. I still got at least another 15 minutes of Wheel of Cheese coming here. So, because I started when I started. Okay, we're going back to the new listener list. Let me refresh all my data. Okay, this is the new view spin. The new view review. All right. Let's go. You'll see this get marginally thicker here. Thicker pieces of cheese of wheel. And so, are you guys ready? Let's go. Vote for your color. Peek. Who do we got? Let's get somebody nubu. Oh, damn registration. All right. So we got damn registration in the house. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, another anime. This one's called Tintin. Oh yeah, Tintin. It's a classical orchestral piece of music. And let's see here, stand by for a second. And these are the credits music. So apparently this is at the end where there's credits. That's why I would call it credit roll music. And this is for DAM registration. So thank you so much. Let's see what we got here for DAM registration and Tintin. But kind of has that old Bazooka Joe looking comic strip stuff. Very nice. At the very beginning of that reminded me a little bit of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know why. Western anime. Never heard of that. Boom, boom, boom. Very intimate conversation between the instruments. I love that. A little lighthearted with a little bit of drama and seriousness. This seems like an adventure journey piece, you know? The little melody there has been borrowed a few times. So many really super cool little orchestral elements in there. Obviously, I don't know where this came from within the anime or something, but it seemed very adventurous. Like they were on journey. They were looking for things and stuff of that nature. And then they kind of came across things that were like, whoa, watch out, kind of a thing. Very upbeat, very upbeat vibe, very lighthearted. You know, and a lot of times that's when you start to hear things like the pizzicato strings that are bouncing around. Boom, 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 boom. But what's fun about that, and sometimes I've done this before in arrangements, is that kind of the stereo imaging and stuff of a pizzicato string might be kind of wide, depending on how you write it. At least, you know, if I'm in a DAW on my modules and stuff. But the answer back between these little between the instruments in an intimate way, not the section, but the flute answers with the bassoon. And then a violin does something and a clarinet comes in and talks, and they have these little mini conversations, and they're very lighthearted, very fun, you know. And it's also got this very, I mean, I don't know if it's also because I'm looking at the cartoon work, and a very nostalgic vibe as well. You know, we don't hear a lot of this necessarily. There was a whole era, the 50s, 60s cartoon era and stuff like that, where this was the music that millions and millions and millions of kids heard in cartoons and stuff, or Disney type stuff. You know, there wasn't this like, gee, let's mix it up with, you know, some, I don't know, Benny Goodman and some Prokofiev, you know, which that would have been a funny little mix up. But it was kind of like as media was changing and composition and music was changing and growing, and there was more composition risks that were happening with media going into the 70s through the 80s. For a good 20 years, this kind of composition was what we married ourselves to, us old farts, you know, back in the 1900s. So anyhow, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. More Wheel of Cheese, please. This is going to be a thick wheel of cheese, many, many slices. I have a couple more I'm going to do before I take a short break and go straight to the donos. Let me see here. Wheel. All right. Thick cheese. Woo! How many slices of cheese we got in there? I'm trying to read it. On my monitor, it gets kind of small and stuff. What's with this one piece of hair? What's going on here? It's bothering me. It's kind of, hang on. Got to do the hair thing, man. I got long hair. It's not quite long enough for me to put in a ponytail yet. So I'm thinking probably not for another 2 months will I be able to get a good chunk of it in Clark Kent. Wait, Jesus. All right, there we go. I like that. All right, here we go, guys. Let's spin it. Look at all these slices of cheese. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so if it's your first time doing donos and a wed turtle, so they stay on my form the same way, except they get lined up in a particular way under, like, considered donos, and then there are the folks that are just coming in for the first time or just may not have the opportunity for dono, and that's why I always open up with the wheel of cheese. And what ends up happening with the donations, I always say this every time I come on, I might as well say it now, is that sometimes that list will get really long, and by virtue of me staying as long as I can, I might get a half or 3/4 of it done, and then the next stream I open up with the donos to make sure I clear that all out. So you know, it depends on where you're showing up in the dono. People have fun sometimes and outbid each other and $1 extra, whatever. So sometimes that changes. But one thing's for sure, though, if you do dono, you know, I thought about this the other day. I said, well, if you actually do dono, then eventually your song will get heard for sure. It's just where in the stream and when might be, you know, depending on how many I have left. Anyhow, I went very long on that. So we're spinning. I just yapped my way out of my wheel of cheese. Here we go. Spin. Everybody clap. Spin. Who do we got here? Oh. Who's this? Igaga. Igaga. I don't think I've ever had anything from Igaga. Let's see what Igaga wants. So, Igaga, are you still here somewhere? Hiding away? I'm going to look you up here. E, F, G, H, I. There you are. So, it's a band. It's called Two Steps from Hell. And so, I don't know if it sounds like it's probably going to be metal. Not too sure. Not too sure, but Two Steps from Hell. And the name of the track is called Myth. So let's see what we got here. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Let's go. Oh, smoking already. I love this. Ooh. That's a huge section. Jeez. harp. I love that little triplet they laid in there. You know if you know, but that is a massive section. Oh, there's the guy from that 70s show. I promise I won't let this energy flow too hard get away from me. I think one of the most important things that I'm hearing about this and why I love it so much is that the compositions aren't trying to layer on top of, let's say, the guitar chugs or on top of the drum work. They're letting those instruments have their pocket. Sometimes when you get rock bands that go into orchestral stuff, they'll sit there and try to layer on top and do unison stuff, and it'll get kind of muddled up a little bit. This is absolutely powerful. The size of the brass section is insane. You know, if there's 8 French horns in there, that's because they're going through some punch. And then the final thing I want to say is, an orchestra like this has 2 outfits. One is we're doing opera, and one we're doing metal. And if you notice, this looks like the metal outfit, so. Wish I could hear a little bit more of that choir. Hear the piano now, it's kind of pumping through now. In come the forest fairies. The mischief bouncing around kind of vibe. That was a nice switch up. That was beautiful little mystical bounce there. Violinist, I love he's leaning into his play. Big symphonic unison move right there. The little trills with the flutes back there. And you still hear the harp. Let's give it for the engineer. I love how they let the guitars bleed out past the mix. There's no two ways about it. This was pre-recorded. We didn't see drums. We didn't see guitars or anything, which is fine. This was played live, you know, whether to playback, whatever. You could see that they're playing it live. I don't know if they did something. I don't know where this may have come into play in the sense that if you notice they had like 8 overhead mics. And they had these kind of ambient mics in some of the sections set back. So maybe they were doing some kind of recording to get maybe a little room sound or something. I don't know. Without a doubt, all the musicians there were cranking it. But when it comes to what we actually heard, obviously, what I was thinking of is I wonder what came first, you know, the chicken before the egg, is if the orchestral section put down their work first. And then the drums and guitars were done in an overdub. You know, I know that sounds ass backwards, but there was a part of it where I really, as an engineer and a guy who's been doing this for a couple minutes, I was trying to put it together and go, who came into this, you know, the hottest first? And if it was just the orchestral recording first and the drums and guitar over it. But either way, the actual tempo, the timing of all of it was absolutely amazing. And that's where sometimes I just kind of go, oh, it's almost too tight, you know. But that has nothing to do with the instrument. I mean, with the musicians and the arrangements and stuff. And an engineering thing, it's like, oh, was there any nudging going on? But one of the most important things to the mix and to this piece of music that I love is the fact that they did not intrude on each other. And like I said in my first stop, is a lot of times you'll hear when you have orchestral rock combinations and stuff like that, that there's going to be this kind of they'll layer, like if a chug is with the guitar, you might get the double basses to try to do the same thing, and those tones, they compete, and sometimes doesn't sound really clean and crisp and fresh. Where this, the arrangements kind of the way the drums were played, the way the guitar was played, and everything, they all lived on their own in their own place. I don't know what's wrong. But I definitely have to lean into the fact I wish I heard the choir just a little bit more. I want the choir just a little more, I just want just a little more choir. Anyhow, let's see. I've heard 2 steps. I thought I heard that before. So, I see. Anyhow, yeah, you didn't see my choir? Donna. So, that was that. Great listen, though. That was just insane. All right, I was just notified that we had a little bit of a dono came in. A 40K from Gummy. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that when I start doing the donos. Thank you so much for letting me know. Got you again. Sorry, my bad. Okay, one more Wheel of Cheese. Now we're going to do the localized Wheel of Cheese, my new viewer version. Let me refresh. And one more, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. Try to drink a bunch of water or something. Get this, something's in here causing me to cough here. Wheel of Cheese, everybody. Time for a spin. All right. So let's go here. Let's see what we got. This is the intimate cheese. This is the party of 30 cheese. Look at that. Look at that. Just widened up here. All right, everybody. I'm sorry. I don't see enough speen in the chat. Where's the speen in the chat? My goodness. I think I shall take a break then and have a piece of brownie. Wahaha. What kind of brownie do we have? Oh, there's a speen. All right, here we go. Brownies, peanut butter, and it had macadamia nut. All right, guys. We are going to speak. Who won? Oh, wait, what? Slick Ricken, didn't we just get one on you? You guys have to help me with this. Did we have a Slick Ricken? No, we didn't. Am I respin? Sorry, Rick. We already got you, Rick. You got back on the tape. We already got you. You were the first one. Oh, I know what happened. I blew it, Sleek Rican. I didn't remove you. I'm sorry. So now you've been removed. No offense. So we have to do a respin. And the winner is Vermilia, brand new. All right, let's give it up for Vermilia. All right, let's hear it for the red. It's a spin conspiracy. All right, let's see what Vermilia wants. Vermilia, I believe it's your first time here in the Wheel of Cheese success story. And let's see what you want here. Stand by for a second. Let me get my... Ooh, it's a game. This game is called FFXIV. Fix him. FFXIV. Okay, well, let's see what we got here for that. And the name of the track is Dragonsong from, it's Final Fantasy. Damn. I think I need to take a break and just, fuck. Sorry. I need to amuse myself because I can't seem to read what's in front of my sheet. I make joke. Okay, so this is Dragonsong. Let's do this from Final Fantasy. Oh my God, drugs are bad. Okay. Here we go, guys.
Children of the land, do you hear echoes of truths that once rang clear?
Kind of recognize this, but it sounds pretty.
Intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near. But flames that burn full bright soon fell dark. Memories dimmed by shadowed hearts.
Well, if I did do it, it's pretty. I want to do it again.
Did wane the lover's moon, watching as their worlds drift apart. One soul's cry, a passion welling
I like the little major third. I was waiting for something else. I thought I was going to drop to a minor there. Maybe there. No? A major.
Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke, scattering her words to the
That really high note way in the back. Can you hear it? It gives you that little special kind of like thread connection to the ambiance and the atmospheric attitude of that playing. It's that one note way up there that violin was playing. There's a leather I know. Whoops, wrong song.
seas of blood are a song, and death an afterthought to those who fight for none alone, lying empty,
Little hope with that major third. They do that right there. I would say a contemporary medieval Edo Wind Turtle. It's kind of that callback, but I agree with you.
children of the land and sea. Why must you turn to empty bliss? Tell me,
There's that minor third right there.
why turn the past to dust, seeking solace in the abyss? Tell me why.
I love those trapped, resolved half notes there. I'm sorry, eighth notes. Keep on dropping you back into that major third. I think one of the things that I watched on the stream here, on the comments and stuff, is that musical pieces like this obviously mean a lot to us when they're married to a story, visual story, video game, anime, movie, TV. What is beginning to happen, and I'm you can come for me in the comments on this if you want, but after 3 years of like focusing on listening to music, you know, with all the channels that I have, the Decomposer Lounge, the video game, this and stuff, there does come a time where there is predictable changes, reuse of emotional tools, if you would, in orchestras. And, you know, you use this section with this kind of approach should pull this kind of, you know, emotional flavor to the surface. And I think that a lot of what we hear when we don't hear it in context with your favorite anime, your favorite TV, your favorite game, or something like that, does kind of start to, I hate to say where it says, where it's like starting to sound the same, but not. And this isn't a dig to the composers. This is not a dig to the musicians. This is not a dig to the directors or the people who are, you know, what I'm hoping to see in the next few years is a much bigger step off in original composition for media. I don't know what that's going to sound like. It could be in progress right now, and I don't know. It could be this unique hybrid work that I've been listening to lately on this channel. Excuse me. But I think you guys understand, right? For most of you that have been here with the journey, or I've got some new people talking about it with me, is that so much is changing in the world right now, so many different levels, you know, that I feel like the soundtrack of life has to mimic this. I'm not going to get all weirded out here, but just bear with me for a second here. We're in a place in the world that we've never been before. I guess every generation can say that, every year, every generation and stuff. I think the soundtrack of our lives, especially when you get old like me, or older, I'm in my, you know, early 60s, you know, only through the wisdom of your soundtrack of life can you like say, oh, that sounds nostalgic. That reminds me of this decade of my life and this decade of my life, or this reminds me of this, or whatever the case is. But as a composer and as a professional who still gets hired every now and then to write music for publishers, I'm kind of feeling with this intense vibe that's happening with all of us right now, what's happening in the world, be it politics, money, concern, fear, the whole thing that's been exacerbated because of the very thing I'm on right now, social media and stuff, as well as just where we are and what we're being made aware of. I feel like I'm waiting for composers to catch up on an approach to score this moment in time, this moment in life. And it doesn't have to be death metal because it's dark, and it doesn't mean that everything's dark and ugly. You know, it is very dramatic right now. The world is very dramatic right now, and the emotions are very dramatic with everybody, you know. But I feel like I'm waiting for composers to kind of match that. Or if they don't match that necessarily the way I'm thinking that might be, at least they're being really super creative and anesthetizing. Is that how you say it? Anesthetize or anesthetize? Is it a TH or ties or thighs? I don't know. I probably just made the biggest fool out of myself, but you know, that's me. But you know, then you have bands like, for instance, the what was the first band I listened to? The Gizzard Review or something. That is just something that eclectically pulls you away from it. So if you don't want to score, tick ties, brah, the freaking guy get tick ties. Then something to anesthetize, fuck that word, to numb us, you know. I don't know. It'd be a trip if somebody was to say, to give $1 million to a composer and say, can you please write a soundtrack for where we are in this world right now? But I'd love to. That would be really super trippy. Instead of trying to write pieces of music that might, you know, sell or something. But I don't know. I went on a moment there. I think I went on a moment there too because I got to take a break. I'm going to drink some water. I've been coughing too much, and we're going to get on to our donos. But that was my moment. That was my moment of like creative old fart going. We need a soundtrack for our current life's journey, wherever one might be. All right, guys. This cough is really bothering me. I don't know what's going on, and it just started fairly recent. So let me get a little bit of music here together for you to chill out to. I'm going to take a quick break. I think I'm going to take a little shot of NyQuil or something. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or what, but it's really bugging me. Hang on. Give me a second here. Jesus. Oh, what should I play for you guys? How about if I play... I'll play you this one here while I take a break. It's very chill. It's very flowish. Don't you know-ish? It's very flowish. Guys, give me a second. I'm going to take a really quick break, and then we're going to lay right into the donos, okay? So let me do this, and now I'm going to do this. I'll be right back, guys.